what happens with so many of you, and it's just fine because you live in a world with others and you're aware of them and you're aware of their awareness of you. You can't stand in their shoes and be aware of yourself. You can't don their perspective and see yourself. So you see yourself through their eyes, through your eyes. You're the one who puts all the jumble in the equation, you see. Where, think about how much cleaner it is to just tune into who you are and what you want. What we said earlier really applies here. It does to most people. And it goes like this. I sense that I've come for a reason, and I feel like I have important things to do. And that must translate into helping others live a better life. So I'll demonstrate through my own how they can live a better life, because you're a teacher to the very core of your being. But it gets wonky because you understand that and you have these moments of enlightenment, but every time you try to explain it to them, then your awareness of how they're taking it gets mixed up in your vibration, and then you're not offering a non-resisted thought. You're too aware. Esther said to someone the other day about herself, she said, I've always been a very observant person. I'm always looking for an opportunity to facilitate. Somebody needs a hand putting their bag up, I'll help them. Anything that anybody needs. I felt like a facilitator because she's quick on her feet, she's strong, she's aware, she's putting her nose in a lot of other people's business, and therefore introducing herself to more resistance than is necessary. And as if to say, I see that you cannot do this for yourself, and so let me do it for you. Which sometimes, if they're feeling very weak and incapable, they're glad that she's there, but it's a sort of disabling thing. So there's more. Not only is Esther noticing that she's observant with her ears and her eyes and her nose, she's also vibrationally observant. So when somebody feels a little down, she would like to help them to feel better. Only problem is that makes her under the influence of something other than source, because her inner being never sees anybody as down. Her inner being only sees where they want to go. And when she looks at them where they are, that's what you teachers keep doing. You keep looking at people where they are and introduce resistance into your equation, and then you don't feel good. It mutes the joy that could be there otherwise. In the beginning, you're minding your own business more. The better you get at this, the more you want to help others with it. Is this resonating with you a little bit? Jerry used to say, it's like if you just bought some new tires and you found some really wonderful, he always said Michelin because in those days that's what he was looking for, really good soft riding tires, and they were at an exceptional price, and you just put them on your car and one in the trunk, and you're so pleased with them. You want to tell everybody about them whether they're looking for tires or not. So now you're interjecting, oh, I found these really good tires. Good for you. No, you got to understand, these are the top of the line tires. And when you ride on them, they're so soft and wonderful. It's like you're floating on air. Put them on that Cadillac and it's like, and they're thinking, okay. And so there's a lot of that going on where you're observing not just with your eyes, but you're observing vibrationally. And then you're wanting to compensate for them being under the influence of source. And then guess what? You're not under the influence of source either. We like to play this scenario in your mind because you care about what other people think, because when they're thinking good thoughts about you, then it doesn't introduce resistance into your equation because you're picking up on it and you like what you're picking up on. But most are not interested, or they're coming from a lot of different places and they can't see you, and even if they could, they're not interested in what they see, and most of them understand you. It's not bleak. Just when you do that, makes it sound bleak because it's what you're all trying to do. Stop it. Don't do it. It doesn't work. Don't care so much what other people think. So to bring this to your attention, we say, so you've decided that you would like everyone to get you. So you spend some time takes a long time to do this. You write your profile of who you are and how you got to where you are, and why you feel the way you do about this and that and 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 this and that. It's many pages. It's a book. It's 2 or 3 books. It's volumes of online information about why you think the way you do, how you tick. And then you put your picture up, and you decide that your campaign is you're going to present your picture and your profile to everyone on the planet, because you might run into them. And what you basically say is, if you meet me, this is what you need to know for us to have a good relationship. These are the things that you're going to need to know. You're going to need to be up to speed with who I am and how I got here. Or you could just tune into who you really are, get under the influence of source by quieting your mind, and just radiate that, and the law of attraction would bring to you those who are a vibrational match to you, who get you because they're under the influence of their inner being too. You see what we're getting at? So that's what's going on with you. You're trying to be too hands-on in your teaching and not selfish enough to find your own joy. And that's a hard thing for humans to hear. You've been taught that selfishness is a bad thing. And we say, if you're not selfish enough to hook up to the good stuff, you don't have anything to give. You know you've got it. You know you do. Really, we want you to feel the silliness of the game. Like you need someone's permission. It's like life has shown you that you want it. You have a very good life, but you know what? You've given other people credit for the life that you've lived, and you feel like it was by their permission that you were granted the good stuff, and you're still looking for that permission. And you don't need permission from anyone. If life shows you that you want it, you grant yourself permission by aligning with your inner being, who's all over it already, you see. Isn't that nice to know? It takes a while to realize, because this is what we meant earlier, that most people are so accustomed to contouring their life around what others think, until something happens that you know unequivocally that this is something that you want. And so suddenly your vehicle is moving fast enough that all those other beliefs are irrelevant, but you are introducing unnecessary resistance into the equation by believing the most ridiculously flawed premise that you could ever believe, and that is that it is your job to keep them all happy. Because you know what believing that and then accomplishing that will do? If you've decided that it's your job to keep everybody else happy, then you will never get what you want. And they won't either. They'll just get some sick, sad version of what you think that they think that they think that you think that they want. If they're under the influence of source, you know what they want for you? Your happiness. Period. Give them some credit, and give them some credit in the co-creation. And so the question that we want to put to you is, do you deserve to feel good? It's like you go to the buffet, and here are some beautiful vegetables and some lovely meats and some beautiful things, and then there's a pile of ground glass and some dirt. Aren't you pretty picky? Do you say, well, I'm eating this lovely food and I better eat some ground glass because it's just fair? Or do you leave the ground glass and report them? No. So can you choose among your thoughts? Are you thinking your thoughts, or are your thoughts thinking you? What you're wanting to do is do a better job of distinguishing earlier on what influence you're under as you start down that thought path, and then catch it earlier. Don't be freaky about it, and don't be mad at yourself if you get onto a chronic thought that isn't serving you. Just take the bounce from it. Realize that this thought doesn't serve, and say something like, tomorrow I'm going to do a better job of getting out ahead of it. And then quiet your mind. Do you meditate? Do you like that feeling of detachment? And do ideas stream to you more and more? And do you recognize it when they come? And can you feel that some of those thoughts that you're calling chronic thoughts, that's just streaming from an influence that doesn't serve you? Think about that. The mass consciousness believes in its vulnerability. And there's a current or stream, because every thought that's ever been thought still exists. So those thoughts have been gathered together by law of attraction, and there is a stream of thought that when you get in the vicinity, you're going to pick it up. So let's call this something else. Let's not call this your chronic thought. Let's call this your vibrational place that hooks you into that stream. Esther remembers right here in this city, some years ago, a canal flowing high because of the rain runoff, and some little kids were doing what they often did. They were sitting on the concrete bank of the canal, just dangling their feet in the water, and the water swept them away. They were rescued, but the current surprised them. They didn't understand the velocity of it, and doing what they had done many times was different with this stream. And so when you stick your toe in the water of some thoughts that mass consciousness has been thinking that don't serve you, don't be surprised that you get swept away in them a little bit. But pretty soon the stream will let go of you, and you'll bob back to the surface, and you'll sleep, and you'll wake up, and you'll choose chronic thoughts that serve you better. Do you believe in the well-being of this time and space? Do you acknowledge that source is all over it? Do you sometimes think, when you get up in the morning, of the bigness and the wonderfulness of your earth spinning in its orbit and all that that means? Can you feel the huge momentum of that? You can't even contemplate the time that this has been happening, and therefore the continuum that you are on in that regard. Do you feel the warmth of the sun and the way it takes care of this planet? Do you realize that no new seeds are being trucked in from other places, and yet there's food on the planet? You're squabbling over it and pinching it off and doing some things that are not that wise about it, but it's still growing, and it's still available, and it's not going away, and it never will. Don't you like your atmosphere? Don't you just think it's incredible? Don't you love gravity? Don't you love understanding the laws of that? Really? This world asking and this world economics, isn't it a magnificent thing? Can't you feel the desire of the masses and the goodness that comes to that desire? Can't you feel the dominance of that? And of course, you could find some pocket, even a big pocket, that isn't allowing well-being, but it's your choice about where you focus, and you just want to ask yourself, what thoughts do I want to be chronic in me? Do I want to acknowledge the well-being? There's plenty of it. We think it would be a wonderful thing if the media, and we're talking about all of it, we're talking about the movies and the books, we're talking about the news, we're talking about the advertisements, we're talking about all of the stimuli that comes to you in all the ways that it comes. And let's say that it's represented as you're watching some television, and you're watching it, and all of a sudden there's a little thing that goes zit on your screen. It's just like a little flashlight and a sound that goes zit. Somebody says to you, what was that? And you say, oh, that represented all the things that went wrong today for everybody. Zzz, zzz. Wouldn't you like that to be your chronic thought? Or do you want to break that down? Do you want to look at that thing? Do you want to look at that subject? Do you want to beat that subject to death? Do you want to focus upon that and use that? And we're not saying that it's not real, and we're not saying that you want it, and we're not saying that you don't want it to be better, because you do. Because every time you have a step one moment about anything that goes wrong in your world, you ask for something. You ask for an improvement. You are an uplifter, and you are doing your part in your observation of this world and putting your requests. But you got to line up with what you are asking for the world, just like you got to line up with what you are asking for yourself. You got to make those things that feel good your chronic thoughts. So let's give a new label to the word chronic. You want to know what chronic is? Chronic is what your inner being knows. That's long time chronic. That's chronic bigger than you can even use the word chronic. That's so chronic that when you get crossways of that, you don't feel good. When you don't feel good, it's because you have departed for a moment from who you really are and what you really know about whatever the subject is that you're focused upon.